Taking any calls 5 days a week. For every other customer says filthy things to me.
Hey there, everybody. I am live. Live. Let's see here. What do we got here? Let's see. Let me get off of this screen. Let's see here. What do we got? Am I live? Excellence in action. I am live. Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here, live with all four lobes of my brain securely bound behind my back. And I bet you're wondering, hey, Pete, why is there a lipstick? Why is there a pig with lipstick on it? Why are you showing us this? Well, this is a preview for a video I'm making right now, today, Monday, May 6, 2024. I made a video talking about Dial America, and I got a notice in the mail from Dial America that there was a data breach in their luxurious servers where many of the employees' information was stolen, including my own, I guess, although I didn't know about any of this, and there was a lawsuit against Dial America, which they lost. And I'm making a video about that and some of the changes Dial America made. They changed their company name and their rebranding, which I think is like putting lipstick on a pig. But if you hear the song behind you, if you like this song, this is my new song called Call Center Blues. And if you like this song, you can buy it on my Patreon channel for just a mere $3. Which you can put 2/3 of a gallon in the tank of your gas tank, or maybe in some of your cities that you live, maybe half a gallon of gas in your car. And this is a song I wrote about what it's like working in a call center. So if you like this song, I've had a bunch of you buy it that really like it. And there's also a call center blues video where I play with my band, PTPOP and the Alien Craze. So that is my song, Call Center Blues. But of course, that's not why I've called you all here today. I know, Oingo Boingo and I are being ornery. He's in my windscreen now, and if he falls off, I'm going to have to give him a pip. There he is. Here, we'll put him over here. Oingo Boingo. So, here's why I'm going live again today. Let's see if anybody's online here today. Going live. Roxanne, you're there. Good morning, Roxanne. John. Hi. Glad you caught me too, John. Braden, hello. Hey there, Braden. I think you left your stream running yesterday. Did I? Huh. I don't know. That was my live thing about talking about Zoe, I think. Boy, I hope you didn't see me naked or anything. I don't know if I left it going or not. I think I turned everything off. Maybe I left it going. I don't know. Let me check here. Let me take a look and see what I did on this. I never saw the end of it. My wife watched it, so I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Our dog Zoe, put our dog Zoe down. 30 minutes. Let's mute that so you don't hear the ridiculous commercial. I hate these commercials that they have here on YouTube's. I don't know, it says here it ended at like 30 minutes. Over that, and I've got some other things coming up too. So thanks to all of you for watching. I appreciate your sympathy, all of you that watched, and have a good day. Oh God, I hope I didn't leave it running. I'm always worried about that. You know, am I still alive here? I think I am. I went off the screen, now I don't know where I am. I don't know what I did to myself. If you guys are there, I don't know if I can see myself anymore. Yeah, I think I'm still here. Well, let's go back to here. I think I can see you guys. Am I still there? Yes, you don't have to worry about twice. Oh, thanks, Roxanne. Yeah. Losing my dog losing any pet has been awful. And I think I'm still live. I don't know if I went off my screen and now I can't see what I'm doing here. Can somebody tell me if you can still see me out there? Well, let's see here. How do I fix this conundrum I got myself into? No, I think I'm still live. I think I'm still here. Okay, thanks, Roxanne. Yeah, I'm still here. All right, everybody. All right. And so, yeah, my dog passed away, and it was really upsetting because she and I were really close. We had two dogs. We had Eli and we had Zoe, and I wanted to adopt Eli, and my wife gave in because we were without any pets at the time. We had both agreed we're going to go for a while without any pets, and I talked her into adopting Eli, and in kind of a weird way. And then, like a year later, we got Zoe, and Zoe was her idea. Eli was my idea, but we both kind of adopted the other dog. I kind of adopted Zoe, and she kind of got close to Eli. It was kind of a weird thing. But so when Zoe went, it was really hard for me because she was just an amazing dog, very nice dog. And, you meet some dogs, and they're like really, we had another puppy a couple of years ago that was just a little bastard, just untrainable little bastard, a little bastard dog. We had to get rid of it. It was like 4 months old, and the thing was a little just pain in the ass when we gave him back. We surrendered him to one of the rescue groups here in town, and they found him another home, and he's fine now. But so not all dogs are great, but the two dogs we had, Eli and Zoe, are just amazing. So thanks for all of your condolences and all of that stuff. Okay, so I'm just looking around here. So I have this idea. So people have said to me, Pete, why don't you make a documentary about working in a call center? And as I said in another broadcast, I said that, maybe that's not a good idea because there was already that movie about the guys that raise funds for the Federation of Police or something like that. And it's a really good movie. And if you haven't seen it, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a movie that was really well done and well received. And the advantage they had in that film was they started to film the inner workings, the inside of a call center, long before there were regulations restricting that. So this one guy took his camcorder into the telemarketing, call center, was filming his friend who was hopped up on heroin and passed out at his desk and stuff like that. And that's some pretty captivating footage. And I'm thinking, well, that's just one side of it, but it was really well done. I was like, how can I outdo that? And I thought, okay, wait a minute. What if we work together, all of it, like me and you and whoever is watching this? If I can get insider information, this is what I want to do. I want to make a documentary talking about how call centers really are. Not just one aspect of it, because that was just, this illegitimate call center that was raising funds for the Federation of Police and all that stuff. What if we had a call center that really talked the truth about what it's like to work in a call center while they're still around? I have a feeling they're all going to be gone fairly soon. They're desperately trying to get rid of them because they cost companies millions and millions of dollars a year to run and operate and staff and stuff like that. So, but I need insider information. I really need to make something like a production like this work. I need to get a former, maybe a retired director of a call center or an HR person that worked with call centers or a manager of call centers to go live on camera and say, yeah, I used to work for XYZ Corporation. I'm retired now, but this is what it was like to be at the top, and this is why we did what we did. This is why we made call center work so difficult. And I want an answer to this. This is what I don't understand, is why every call center I've ever worked in any way, shape, or form, in any city, in any state, in any industry, they're all the same. They're all the same. And they're all identical, and they train everybody the same way, and they throw you on the phones, sink or swim atmosphere, and that's it. So if I could get somebody who's worked in higher positions, management, director, CEO, CIO, that level, maybe they're retired and they can come on and say, I'm retired, and I always question the ethics of a call center. That would be a big thing to have, just a major thing to have. And that could give me an advantage. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do a man on the street interview here, if I can get approval from my city, to sit down and just people passing by, say, hey, can you talk with me for a second? What do you think it's really like to work in a call center? Did you know that they only receive 1 to 2 weeks of training to handle a whole catalog of products? Stuff like that, and see what people's reaction is, see what people even know what a call center is. Because I don't think people know. I don't think the average person who's getting angry with us on the phone has any idea what they're calling into and what the atmosphere is like. In case you wondered, somebody asked me why I wear these. And I was wearing them because I like them. But these glasses, I was wearing them to cover up my lazy eye. But these glasses, these are my grandfather's, my mother's father's glasses, and his clip-ons he was born in the 1890s, and so he wore these probably till he died in the 1940s. So these have nothing to do with John Lennon. Somebody said, "Oh, you said the Beatles didn't write their own music. You're wearing John Lennon glasses." And no, these are not John Lennon glasses. John Lennon did not make those glasses. He maybe made them popular, but they were a style of glasses that men and women wore in the early part of the 20th century, late part of the 19th century, and they're my grandfather's glasses, and they have nothing to do with John Lennon or anything like that. I happen to think I look decent in them, look good in them, but I can't. They're not my prescription. They're actually prescription glasses, and I can't see what I'm reading on the screens here, so I have to keep going, what does this say? I can't stand that anymore. So I'm just going to go sans sunglasses, and so that's the answer to that. Another person said to me in my comments, I'm kind of all over the road, but somebody said, "Oh, you quit that call center job you just had because your wife got her unemployment reinstated." No, that is not true. My wife's unemployment is like nothing. I mean, what she gets in unemployment doesn't even cover half of our bills. I quit it because we do not have a call center. They did not have a place for me to sit. And I did record part of the training, and I was listening to it last night, and the audio is pretty good. I'm going to play the part where the trainer talks about, they didn't call it customer service, they called it concierge. It was the concierge, which is, a $10 word they use to make it sound soft and pretty and stuff. I think that's a French word meaning a whole lot of bullshit. So in this meeting we had with our trainer, he says, "We've got seats for these people, but no, we don't have seats for concierge, and we might not for several weeks. Or they're building a new call center across the street, or they'll have one across the street." And I'm sorry, they lied to me in the interview. They lied. They looked to me in the eyes and said, "We've got a call center across the street that you're going to sit in," and then I find out it's not even open. It's not even ready yet. They didn't have any place for us in the current existing headquarters. In the headquarters of a major corporation, they didn't have seats for us. They didn't allocate seats for the 6 new concierge people. And I said, screw it, I'm not staying. And I don't think my wife's unemployment had been reinstated at that point, and it didn't matter anyway. Her unemployment is negligible. It doesn't even cover, it's enough to cover like the water bill and maybe part of the house mortgage, but what I was going to make there and the stress I was going to go through, we'll figure something out. But anyway, so what I want to do is I want to get your input. And I don't know who's on here today watching me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Brandon and Roxanne and, I'm sorry, not Brandon. Braden. Sorry, Braden. I am dyslexic. As I've gotten older, I've become dyslexic. I wasn't dyslexic as a kid. It's the weirdest thing. John, back in the 1960s, they called them granny glasses because they were old glasses back in the 60s. Yeah, they were called granny glasses. I've got my grandmother's glasses, too. Hers are just like my grandfather's, but they're smaller. So, if any of you know someone who works or has worked in a call center, at the management level, team lead level, who didn't like what they were seeing and what they're doing, let me know, and let me know if you think, or talk to them, and let me know if you think they'll be willing to go on camera. Of course, all of you are from different parts of the country and the world, and I can't jump on a plane and go to the United Kingdom, because I know a bunch of you who watch me are from the United Kingdom. Though I would like to come to the United Kingdom and go see Scotland and stuff like that, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But anyway, if you can put me in touch with somebody you think would be interested in appearing in a documentary about call centers, that would be a great thing to have. Somebody to go on the camera and say, yeah, I was a director of a call center, and the higher-ups told me that just get people on the phones. I don't care if they stay or they leave. It's more cost-effective to retrain people every 30 days than it is to try to keep them here and pay them benefits and things like that. I need somebody to go and give me the real dirt behind the scenes of what really goes on and what these people, why they treat us like dogs. That's what I want to know. I want to hear from the real people. Because I'm tired of this. I don't understand it. I'm blown away. As just I consider myself just an average guy, but maybe with more perceptive capabilities. This last training team I was in just a couple days ago, there was this really sad young lady, just morbidly obese. I'm not being mean. She was like maybe this tall. She was maybe 5'5", a huge young lady, just massive, rolls of fat. And she apparently had never worked in a professional environment. And in most work environments, you shouldn't disclose your personal information. You shouldn't sit down and talk about your mental depression. But this young lady, the first words out of her mouth were, I'm severely depressed. I wrestle with depression. She's going on and on about her cats and different afflictions that she had. I'm just like dying. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm like, oh my God, don't say this. Don't talk about this stuff, because they'll use it against you in the long run. They'll use it as a way to get you out the door. And then she says out loud, I hope I don't get yelled at by customers on the phone because I have severe depression and it will really wreck me. And she's going on and on about this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this poor girl. She has no idea what she's walking into. She's walking right into machine gun fire. And somehow she got past the screeners, the interviewers. She should not be working in a call center, but this is what they do. They hire anything that's got a pulse, and they'll put it on the phones in these call centers. And it's just, and the other people weren't much better. Not all of them, but they were, it was a lot of young people. Everybody in the class except for one lady was about half my age. I could have been their parents. I'm 58, and some of these people were probably no older than 30. And I don't know. It was sad, and I wonder, how does this happen everywhere you go? Everywhere you go, it's a shit show. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what industry. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I'm perplexed by it. And there's got to be either either nobody has thought of another way to do it, or it's just the way it's done, or people truly don't care, or, I mean, they can't all be sadistic, maniacal a-holes that are coming in and treating us like this. I'm sorry, I have some technical problems here. And I don't know. I just don't know. And so it's just kind of very bizarre. And to me, it's very weird. And if we can get a film to tell the world what it's really like to work on the inside, to get people to come on and say, I went to this college, I got out of college, I couldn't find a job, so I got a job in a call center, and it was the most debasing, degrading, horrible place I'd ever worked. Now, do I want to make it like a documentary like you release at the film festivals? I don't know. I've done that, and I've won some awards, but it doesn't get you anywhere. I've won a bunch of awards for my different films, but nobody cares because they weren't the big film festivals like the ones over in France. I can't think of it. Cannes, I think it's called. You're really going to have a good film, and you have to have some big connections. You got to know De Niro. I think is it De Niro? It's either De Niro or the other guy, the big Italian actor from the Hollywood films, Pacino. I think it's De Niro that is big at Cannes. I think he runs it or he's part of it or something. I don't know. And it's really hard to get those big ones, but would it be effective that way? Because I don't think a lot of people see actual documentaries anymore. I think it might be more effective, but I could make one again for YouTube and market it on YouTube and all the social media platforms. And, I don't think if it's me again, just being on camera, I don't think it's going to be as powerful as if I can get a couple of different people that have done this for a living and work their way up, and they know the maniacal part of it, the behind the scenes, the dark underbelly of the hiring process and the coaching process and disciplining people and disciplining employees and getting them to quit, forcing them to quit. If we can find that kind of information, that'd be great. Let's see who else we got on here. We got John. Hi, John. Good morning to you. Sarah, maybe you're talking to Roxanne. Sorry about that, guys. And another thing I notice is that when I'm on here, I notice if I go live during the day, I seem to get more viewers. So I don't know if this is a good time to it says right now, how many people do I have on here? I'm still getting. I'm going to click on Open Widget. Warning, the stream's current bit rate is 402 kilobits per second, is lower than the recommended bit rate. We're recommending that you use a stream bit rate of 6,800 kilobits per second. Well, I have no idea how to change that. So sorry, YouTube. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, I think I'm still on here. Oh, my stream status is good. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I've done 2 documentaries. I'm working on a third, but the gentleman I'm working with, it's kind of hit a standstill. It's kind of come to a stalemate. We haven't moved forward on production, and there's really no reason. He's very busy, and I don't know. So I'm looking for greener pastures to turn to work on something I have a real passion for, and I have a real passion for this because I don't think the world knows the inside workings of a call center and how dark it is and what a maniacal place it is to work. And I think people need to know this, and I think people need to know that before they call in screaming at somebody, that really the person answering the phone doesn't have any power, and they barely know what they're talking about. And it's not to put them down, as you all know, we're not trained. And some people stay there a long time end up understanding the product line that they're hired to talk about. But if I could put together a powerful film that would let people know what they're dealing with when they call in, maybe it would change people's perspective on it. But by the time I get this done, I bet your call center's going to be gone. Imagine AI. As I said several years ago, I think AI is going to put an end into call centers. What do you say here? Braden says, yeah, the audio is low bit sounding. Yeah, I don't know how do you change the bit rate? I mean, if you've only got, it says here, I'm on the air for 25 minutes. My data rate is 0.34 megabits per second. My cache is okay, but I don't know how you change that. Maybe it's because I'm going through, no, I'm not going through Wi-Fi. I'm going through my Ethernet. Epic 9, you're working on a call center. What are you working on? Let's see here. What kind of industry are you working in there? Epic 9, I think it is. So that was what I wanted to do. You don't have to answer it now, but if you guys know someone who works in a call center that's worked, even at our level, at the low level, just the rep that answers the phones, if you're somebody who can, I need to somehow, you have to prove that you worked in a call center. I mean, there's a lot of people who say, they write to me, say, I worked in a call center, and but I don't know if they really did or not. I have to know somehow, through pay stubs or something like that. I have to authenticate where you really worked. I'm not going to look at your personal information, but I can't have posers coming out and saying, yeah, I worked at this call center, and you find out they really didn't. It'll undermine the integrity of the film. So I need people who are willing to go on camera, probably via Zoom, and say, yeah, this is what it was like for me, and this is what I experienced. And then we need to get people on camera that worked in management, team lead, management director, CEO, that kind of level thing, to say, yeah, this is what we did, and this is why we did it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get a CEO on camera to talk about this stuff, because they've got pensions, and they've got all kinds of probably financial things. They probably have non-disclosures. They probably have NDAs they signed. And who knows? Maybe we can get somebody to go, we'll put them in it, we'll shadow them, we'll blur them out, and they'll say, yeah, we intentionally made life hard for these people. And that would be powerful. And maybe it would help reshape the world's attitude towards calling in, because you really can't get mad at the people that answer the phone, and the average person doesn't know that. Let's see here. What does this say? Warning. The stream's current bit rate is low again. Okay, I don't even know how to mess with that. So there we have it. So that's my idea for today. So if you have information, if you know somebody that you think would be part of this production, write to me at skatingbearstudios@gmail.com. That's studios plural, STUDIOS. I almost forgot how to spell studios. At gmail.com and say, hey Pete, here's a person that said they want to talk with you. Jane, I don't think Jane's on here today. But one of my subscribers by the name of Jane wrote to me with some ideas for a call center video, and I thank you so much for that idea. I'm looking at it, and I think I wrote back to you. I did write back to you. I'm going to look at, you had some good ideas. I have covered some of the weird people I sat next to, but maybe I'm going to do one that just covers a lot of the strange people I sat alongside in the call centers, including a guy that looked like Napoleon Dynamite. And then another guy that looked like, oh God, what was that actor's name? I've worked alongside some really odd people. I'm not a pillar of mental stability over here. Let's see here. Online gambling platform. Epic, wow. So do you get calls, Epic, from people who are having problems with the servers or the platform not working, or not taking their bets, or things like that? Yeah, Braden, the people you speak to on the phones are getting worse. Like my wife and I, the best service we've received from a call center so far, believe it or not, has been from the Ohio Bureau of Unemployment. The ladies we've spoken to there have been outstanding, just wonderful people. And they've agreed with us. We said, this doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing it this way? Why did they cancel this? And they agree with us. And when you're in a call center, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to talk against the company. You're not supposed to say, yeah, I don't understand why Verizon Wireless sucks so bad. They don't come out and say stuff like that, but they've been amazing. Another good call center I call into is Discover Card. Discover Card has always been phenomenal with me. I have been attempting to work at Discover Card for 20 years. When I lived in Arizona, they had a call center in Phoenix. It was right off the 17, I think it was, the 17 over the 10. And back then, they only paid $10 an hour. And I was always trying to get in there because I always had good customer service there. But some of the worst ones, just deplorable ones, I can't think of all the bad ones now. But it's not really call center, but my insurance agent. I don't know the women that answer the phones over there. This is just an office, not a call center. They're terrible. My insurance company is terrible, and we've got a whole bunch of insurance policies with them, so we're reluctant to pull out of there. But yeah, most of the places you call in today, nobody knows how to talk to anybody anymore because we're all just like, oh my God, look at that, it's so shiny, the glowing lights of the phone, and nobody knows how to talk. Even friends of mine that I, text, nobody knows. They just give you the thumbs up. Hey, I'm having a good day today. How's your day going? That's it. That's all you get. You get the thumbs up. So nobody knows how to talk. Nobody knows how to interact because of the glowing Christ that we all hold in our hands. Oh, it's Jesus. Oh, look at that. It's the coming of Christ. So yeah, people today are terrible on the phones, and people are terrible in customer service in general. If you walk into a restaurant, I went to a Bob Evans a couple weeks ago to go to breakfast, and the girl that waited on me she had the personality of a sloth. She was just like, hey, okay, all right. Never came back to see my order was. I had to go find her to get my check. It was horrible. I understand that if you don't want to work as a waitress and you don't like your job, but could you at least fake it for the couple of hours that you're there? Let's see here. Yes, withdrawals and deposit issues and customer service-related matters. JM says, I worked for Dell Technical Support. It was total chaos. Was it really? See, I almost worked in technical support for Wells Fargo when I worked there, and I got the feeling that it was going to be crazy. I thought it'd be more organized and more serene, but it didn't appear. When I interviewed, I had to go to a different building down. I worked in Phoenix when I was in Wells Fargo, and then I had to go down to their data center down in Chandler, and one of the guys in the phones was, I know you can't say the R word anywhere, but he was mentally handicapped. And there was something wrong with this guy, like seriously medically wrong with him, and he was answering the phones. And I thought, that's really weird. How do you... I thought, man, maybe I don't want this job. Because if they've got somebody like that, man, the phones that talk about servers and computer systems. I didn't know it was that bad, though. Roxanne says, Discover and American Express were nice when I had to call in. Yeah, Discover, I've never had an American Express card, but Discover's just been amazing. Oh, yeah, the customers are getting worse, too. I would imagine ever since the housing market crash and then COVID, everyone's lost their marbles. People have become isolated and are depressed allegedly. This is what's here in the news. Everybody would believe the narrative of COVID, so they locked themselves in their house and put their ritual shame muzzle on their face, and they sat inside and I guess got in a fetal position and just cowered in the darkness because they thought some invisible bug was going to come and get them. And I think people have become angry. And if you watch society as a whole, regardless of where you live, you notice that everybody's just angry. They're driving angry. They're just rude in person. I've seen it in a drugstore. There's a drugstore near my house I go to, and this guy was really getting upset because he had to stand in line for a long time. All that stuff. Nobody likes to stand in line, but this was a grown man. This was a guy older than me, yelling at the cashier because she had to cash out at the end of her shift, and they were changing cashiers, and they had to pull out one money drawer and put on another one, and it's like, okay, it's just part of life. This guy was screaming at her from 30 feet away, and I don't, I'm not a sociologist or psychologist, but a lot of the people are angry today, and you see it on the roads. I've seen crazy things on the roads as people around here are just blowing through the red lights, almost like, are they tempting fate because the world has changed? Are they just like, I'm just going to take a chance and blow through this red light, and maybe somebody will T-bone me and take me out? I don't know. It's really bad. John says, I have USAA insurance on everything, and they are usually great, but I had to insure my boat, and they go through Progressive for watercraft. The Progressive phone rep was phenomenal. He was the best. I've had a couple friends work at Progressive in the call centers, and they said they loved it. I've got one guy that worked there for years, and then another guy's worked there for years. I don't know if he's still there. That was 20 years. I haven't spoken to him in many years. He was in sales. I worked at Progressive for a cup of coffee for a sales position, and I couldn't get through the test, the licensing for insurance. The training was just awful. I had no idea how to remember this stuff. There was an avalanche of information about insurance, property and casualty stuff. It just didn't. I couldn't retain it, and I didn't pass the test. Braden says they are getting worse, which is why I choose to remain to myself. I haven't always been reclusive. I've always been very quiet and kind of withdrawn type of person when I was younger, and I didn't talk to people because I was too afraid to. Now I've got self-confidence, and I don't mind talking to people, but I prefer not to. I find it, some of the reactions you get from people are just weird, and it's like, what did they just say? For instance, we had some break-ins in our neighborhood. The lady's house across the street got broken into, and I was standing out on the sidewalk talking to the neighbors next to me about it, and they thought it was funny. And the one guy goes, well, that's why I've got my AR or something like that. I'm like, what? I mean, he didn't seem to care that this lady's house, these guys had smashed into her patio door and gone in and ransacked her house. Not concern the world about it. The other guy was making a joke about it. I'm like, what's wrong with these guys? This lady and her dogs were traumatized, and they didn't care. I don't know. Nosferatu, you're speaking in German. Is that what Hitler is saying in that one thing? I don't know. I don't know about you, Nosferatu. So on that note, I'm going to kind of leave it at that. But so if you know somebody who will consider talking to me about being in a documentary about life in a call center, that would be amazing. Write to me at skatingbearstudios@gmail.com. And let me know who they are and what their position was. And if you've already, talk to them ahead of time, because if I contact them from out of the blue, they're going to be like, who is this guy? Why is he writing to me? Oh, have I seen any hot women today? No, the Hitler comment. I have the soundbite that I use in my podcast. I'm not a fan of Hitler either. I use this. When I'm talking about corporate America, and I used that, and I asked somebody if anybody speaks German, what is Adolf saying there? Because I don't know what he's saying, because I don't speak any German. And there was a girl in the Metro Parks when I was broadcasting live last week that walked by in these shorts, and I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm heterosexual, and I think women are gorgeous. I have nothing against homosexuality, but whatever she was wearing just almost knocked me out of my car. Yeah, that doesn't happen to me a lot, but this lady just happened to be, just quite a sight for sore eyes. He's saying he loves bacon and cheese. Okay, I love bacon and cheese. Let's see. Something about Deutschland, German.
Jesus H. Christ.
I don't know what he's saying there. But thank you all for watching. And I'm trying to, if you know anybody, just let me know. It's, doesn't your wife get angry? Are you talking? Oh, I don't. I'm not like overt about I made that comment. No, she didn't get angry. I don't. I'm not out pursuing anybody. I'm a guy. I'm alive. I have a pulse. You see other people that they're just like, whoa, and every guy I know is like that. I made a video about this. All of us guys, I don't know what it's like to be gay, but being straight, it's just a weird thing. I mean, I don't know a guy alive. I've known thousands of men in my life in a variety of places and situations, and we're all the same. We're all wired the same. It doesn't matter who you're married to. It doesn't matter what kind of life you have. You see somebody that's hot, and you go, whoa. Because we're visual creatures. Men are visual. And I think this comes back to our genetics. It comes back to primitive instincts and desires. And I think we're really here. Our urges aren't for pleasure. Our urges to procreate, to perpetuate the human species. And I don't think monogamy is really healthy. I don't think it's natural. I'm not knocking it. I'm saying I don't think we're meant to be that way. Somebody somewhere thousands of years ago said, "Oh God, things are people are running around doing each other up the butt. We better put an end to this. We better come up with something to make people monogamous, and we better nip this in the bud quick, because there's babies laying in the street and venereal disease and stuff. And we'll do this thing called marriage. That'll quell it, and we'll make it spiritual." No, I think we're wired. Men are wired visual creatures. We're meant to be out perpetuating the human species. I don't think we're meant to be locked up in a house cutting the grass every Saturday and shopping at the grocery store. We're supposed to be out hunting and gathering, but that's all been taken away from us, and we become soft and weak. And no, my wife doesn't get angry. I'm not real obvious about it. I mean, if somebody walks by that I think is attractive, which isn't very often, because I live in Ohio, and most of the people here are very heavy. Most of the people you see in Ohio are morbidly obese, cigarette smokers. I can't stand smoking. They got a cigarette stuck in their pie hole. Their belly's hanging out over their waistband. They got tattoos all over. And they're like, oh, So when you happen to see an attractive woman, it's a rarity. At least that's my opinion. And I'll end with this. When I lived in Arizona, the ugliest women in Arizona made the best women in my high school look like dogs. The people out west are just put together well. They're in shape. I don't like breast implants and all that stuff, but everybody you met out there, even young women, They had breast implants, lip implants. They're strutting around in really nice clothing, had nice cars. A lot of people drove luxury cars out there. You come back here and it's like, ugh. I like Ohio. I like the state. I like the climate. I like the attitude of people. The people here are friendly and kind. They're down to earth, salt of the earth type of people, but we're not the most attractive people in the world. Yeah, being a man is hard. I don't think women have any idea. I think you're right. I don't think women have any idea. I think part of that is from the social programming. They've told women you have to be this way. You have to be submissive to the man because that's what the Bible says if you're a Christian or whatever, and you have to do this and you have to, that's all changing. But I think some of our sex drive is programmed into us from media, social programming and media and pornography. Because I learned a long time ago that the things you see in a porno movie aren't physically possible in reality. Some of the stuff, I'm not going to go into that detail, but some of the stuff, a lot of us guys, we watch as young kids, and we think, wow, we're going to go find this woman who's going to wear clear heels for us and wear a leather miniskirt and spin from a pole, and then we're going to go in the bedroom and rub Crisco all over each other. And it just doesn't work that way. And I've tried kinky things like that with different people in my life, and it's just like, oh, Jesus, we're covered with Crisco now, and now what do we do? I've never used Crisco, but I've done things like that in college, especially, when you're in college, it's just kind of like a youth utopia where everybody's doing crazy shit, and I did my share of it. And it's like, wait, why don't we just do that? That's gross. So you're sold a bill of goods through the media, whether it's about sex or about romance or about working especially. They glamorize working in the corporate world, and so that's a whole different thing. And I'm way off topic here. So all of you, thanks to all of you who have watched me today. If you know of anybody, drop me a line at Sket and Bass Studios, and let me know who you have in mind. And I will talk to you all soon. I'm going to sign off here. PTPOP, all four lobes in my brain, squarely behind my back. And thanks to all of you for watching. I hope you have a good rest of the week. I'm going to release a video tonight about the not the reorganization, but the rebranding of Dial America to Sarah. Talk to you later. Bye. It'll bring up my lipstick on a pig video here. See you later, guys.
No escape, cause I can't make the bid. It's tossing the blues, it's gonna be the end of me. The guy sitting next to me, he's a real freak. Got purple hair and gas from his head down to his feet.
All right, I got that done.